No, we're glad to be here. I played 4 years for the Dallas Mavericks, so I know this area very well, and we're very thankful and humbled and appreciative of our program being in the NCAA tournament, and we've had a couple good days of preparation. Really excited to play a really good Marquette team.
Okay. Back on the right.
Beal, Brown, Raleigh News and Observer. Coach, how much of a luxury is it to have a guy like Leaky defensively, who you can, most games just assign to the next team's best player?
I like that. That's a major luxury. One of the things I wish I could do is slice them in half, in pieces, so that I can have them guard multiple players. But I'm just so proud of Leaky. He's had a terrific season, not just defensively, but he has the best assist-to-turnover ratio on our team, so he's a guy that can distribute the basketball and also take care of it. He's shot the ball so much better from the perimeter, and he's just a great teammate and great leader for our team and our program. And I'm just really excited about the year Leaky has had, and it is a great benefit and a luxury to have somebody that's a lockdown defender that's also versatile. He was it last week against Virginia, he guarded Clark, the point guard, and, he's guarded Paulo all the way down to the power forward position. So not only is he great defensively, he's also versatile on that end as well.
Okay. Do you have the mic? Go front row.
Hubert, Shaka mentioned that he's known you for a long time. I'm just curious about the history of your relationship with him.
Well, I've known him since, since VCU, and also at Texas, and it's, we've just had a relationship also when I worked with ESPN. And so we've known each other a long time. Coach Smart is an unbelievable coach, does a terrific job of developing players, and his teams are always tough-minded, physical, and play hard-nosed type of basketball, and they always compete. And so, for our preparation, we know exactly what we're going to get tomorrow in playing Marquette, and I think Shaka Smart's one of the better coaches in the country. He's a terrific person.
Middle on the right.
Pat Welter, WRAL-TV in Raleigh. Hey, Coach, some of the guys this week have been talking about your pregame speeches, how they make them want to run through the wall. I was curious, just kind of...
I don't want them to do that.
That probably wouldn't be ideal. Metaphorically, maybe. But what goes into what you decide to say, and then specifically, you got a big one coming up here tomorrow?
I don't know. I just, I don't necessarily plan what I'm going to say. It just kind of organically goes into something that helps our team focus and puts ourselves in a position to be successful. And, one of the things when I played for the New York Knicks, Coach Riley used to give a different pregame speech every game. So just think 82 games in the regular season, all the times in the playoffs, and he used to give a different story every time, and his stories just resonated with me, and it made me feel like as a player wanting to run through a brick wall. And so it isn't anything planned. It's just trying to communicate to the team where we are, where we want to go, so that we clearly understand what we need to do and what we're trying to accomplish out there on the floor.
Second row on the right.
Hey, Hubert, you've talked about kind of the chemistry and the health of this team has really developed over the last month or so. How much of that is the guys beginning to understand their roles and kind of what they're supposed to do within that team concept?
I think that's a huge part. I think, at the beginning of the season, I asked them to answer two questions, honestly. I said, what do you have to do to get on the floor? And what do you have to do in order to stay on the floor? And I said a huge determining factor in you personally having a successful season is being able to honestly answer those questions. And I really feel like as the year has gone on, guys have really settled in and accepted their roles. And I think that's really contributed to our chemistry and our togetherness being at an all-time best. And I think I said before also time shared. This has been a year of newness. Even though that I've been an assistant coach here for 9 years, this is the first year that I was a head coach. And so, new players, new coach, new coaching staff, and, the shared experiences of relationships has over the last 11 and a half months have really manifested us into being very close-knit and everybody on the same page.
Back on the left.
Hey, Coach. A few minutes ago, the guys said that you reminded them, spoken to them about what happened last year in the NCAA tournament in the first round. How much
Yeah.
juice can they get from that?
You can get a little juice. I don't think it's juice that's sustainable, but I think obviously what happened in the NCAA tournament last year, obviously it's a different coaching staff, different players. We lost to Marquette last year. Those are things that can motivate you in your preparation. I don't think it's sustainable out there in the game, but it can definitely put you in a place to focus, concentrate, and put yourself in a position to make sure that you're preparing to the best of your ability. That was a humbling experience and something that you cannot forget.
Second row on the left.
Trayvon Miles, ABC 11 in Raleigh. Coach, you mentioned how far back your relationship with Shaka goes. What do you know about what type of teams he's brought to this tournament, and what are you expecting out of this one tomorrow?
Well, expecting a very competitive, great game. If you look at Marquette and look at their body of work, you can't not be a successful, really good team, having beaten Villanova twice and Illinois and Providence. And so they've got some unbelievable players. As I said before, they have a terrific coach and coaching staff, and they compete on every play on both ends of the floor the entire game. And so I've told our guys that, there's three types of people. There's people that don't want to fight, there's people that will fight, and there's people that looking for a fight. And so as a competitive nature for us, we got to be like we're looking for a fight and be out there ready to compete.
Second row, far right.
Hubert, how much have you brought up that Wisconsin game last year? I know you told us about the speech you gave to them after that game last year about how that wasn't Carolina basketball. Have you discussed that with them at all this week?
Very little. Last year was last year. This is this year's team, and I just want us to really, this is the first time that our guys have experienced the real NCAA tournament. I want them to enjoy it. I want them to have joy in celebrating this experience, but I also want there's a seriousness about this to make sure that you're playing your best. And so whether win or lose, the competitive fire and the edge that you have to put yourself in that position has to be there. And so those are the things that have been communicated. We haven't spent hardly any time talking about what happened last year against Wisconsin in the first round.
Second row on the right.
John Leazzi, Marquette Wire Sports. Shaka's teams are known for their press. How do you kind of try to break that in a way to make sure that you dictate the pace of the game and play your playbook?
Well, against any team, not just against Marquette, a huge part is, taking care of the basketball. One of the things that we've identified for us that allows us to have success is three things. One, defend. Number two, rebound. And then the third thing is take care of the basketball. And so not only when, or if Marquette presses, Marquette, even in the half court, does a really good job of getting steals and deflections. So it's important for us, and something that I put on the practice plan every day is making the easy play and limit turnovers. And so we've just got to make the easy play and make sure that we get shots. And if we get shots, I feel confident with the type of shooters that will make the shots. And if we miss, we're really good on the offensive glass, and that allows us to get second chance opportunities.
Far back right.
Hubert, John Johnson with WXII in Winston-Salem. You mentioned for your guys that this is their first real experience in the NCAA tournament, but you have been there as a player, as an assistant coach. It's also your first time as a head coach here in the NCAA tournament. How much are you using your previous experiences in the past as a player and a coach for yourself and preparing for tomorrow, in addition to instilling it on your players?
Well, one of the things that we've done throughout the entire season is, not just myself, but all of our assistants played at Carolina as well. And so, we share stories and testimonies and memories of specifically playing in the NCAA tournament and being a part of big moments and big games with the Carolina uniform on. You know, one of the things that my hope is that something that I desperately want is I want these guys to have, I don't want them to hear our stories anymore. I want them to have their own testimonies, their own stories, their own memories of playing in this tournament and coming up big in big-time situations. And so just encouraging them and motivating them and getting them to understand what a great position that they're in and to enjoy it and to work hard and to put yourself in a position that you can do something great.
We have about 5 more minutes left with Coach Davis. We'll go back right side again.
Hubert, one thing that I think maybe I kind of glossed over anyway, losing 2 players in the rotation in Dawson and Anthony Harris, how did you kind of approach, you know, with the rest of the team, how you guys were going to keep it moving and keep, you know, and absorb that loss? But it's something I don't think that we've actually addressed and talked about much.
Yeah, well, you know, I've always believed in next man up. You know, one of the things that I've told the players is that every player that plays for me will get a chance and an opportunity. Anything that I've been able to experience in my life is because someone has given me a chance and an opportunity. And so that's at the foundation, that's who I am. And I've told each player that. I said, there's no way in the world that you can ever say to anybody, Coach Davis didn't give me a chance. That's just not happening. It's just not happening here. But one of the things that I tell them is, look, I can't guarantee when that chance is going to happen. I don't know when, where, how, and the manner in which it's going to happen. The only thing that you have to do is you have to be ready when that chance comes. And so after losing, you know, 2 players in our rotation, it has to be next man up. And so, you know, Puff has gotten an opportunity and a chance. Dontrez, DeMarco, Kerwin, Justin, all those guys have gotten opportunities and chances. And so it's on them to be ready when their number is called. And so that's how we've approached it since losing those 2 and just moving forward.
Okay. Next to the last row on the right.
And Coach, kind of following up on that, you know, Dawson Garcia, this would have been a huge game for him had he been still with the program. I mean, is there anything you could share with us about how he's doing, if you've talked to him at all?
Yeah, we text regularly and just to check up and see how he's doing. I know that, you know, from a family standpoint, he's going through a lot. Our love and our support and our commitment to Dawson has never wavered, and we're very happy that he's had an opportunity to be at home, to be with family during this tough time, and we're thankful to be able to support him in that. And it would be great to have him here.
We have time for one more question if anybody would like it. If not, back left.
Staying on that, actually, how do you think Brady's game has kind of grown a little bit since Dawson's been out? He's gotten added minutes. And do you think part of the cohesion that you're talking about with the team, a big part of that is just Brady out there for 30-plus minutes a game? That's been a big part of it.
Well, Brady out there on the floor just works. It's worked the entire season. You know, the chemistry between Brady and Armando it just works. You know, their games complement each other. Their personalities and mentality complement each other. Brady does more than just shoot. He's an excellent passer. He's an instinctive player. He just knows how to play, and with the experience of playing in the Big 12 for 4 years, that's invaluable to us. And so not just when we have lost people, it's been clear and definitive when Brady's on the floor, we're just better. And so having him on the floor more makes us better.
Coach, thank you very much. Great to have you in Fort Worth. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you very much.